Hi Taurus, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your How Does Your Ex Feel About Your Reading. Now, I decided to do these readings because we do the How Does He or She Feel About Your Reading, and they're not particularly specific as to whether it's a partner or whether it's an ex, whatever. So I thought, you know what, I'd really love to do it specifically focusing on the ex. And these are actually readings too that you can purchase on the website as well. I love doing these readings, they're so in depth. I'm trying to get them down to half an hour, but it's hard to do that when there are so many areas to cover and so much information to cover. And you know me by now on the channel, I'm not one to cut corners on readings. So what we're going to do for this reading, it's slightly different from the How Does He or She Feel About Reading. Number one, it's specifically geared towards those of you who have an ex. Now, this ex might still be around you, or that you might not have seen them for quite some time, but nevertheless, we use the word ex specifically on the reading. The other difference is that this reading covers 12 areas instead of 10 on the How Does He or She Feel About Me reading. So the areas that it covers is who is the ex in their life right now. That's position 1. Position 2 looks at what are the strengths of the ex. Now, this can be a good strength or a bad one. Position 3 covers what is the ex's weakness. Position 4, how the ex feels about you. Position 5, how you feel about the ex. Position 6 talks about what were the strengths in the relationship when you were in the relationship with the ex. Position 7, what were the weaknesses in the relationship when you were in the relationship with the ex. Position 8, what is the potential for you and the ex to reconcile? Position 9, the overall analysis of who the ex is as a person. Position 10, what are the major blocks to you and the ex reconciling? Position 11, what would be the outcome if you and the ex reconciled? And position 12, if the ex came back, what should you do? It's a brilliant reading. Really enjoying doing these readings a great deal, Taurus. Can't wait to get stuck into yours. For this reading, we're going to be using my Pamela Coleman Smith Rider-Waite deck, along with your clarifiers, which are the small miniature Hanson Roberts deck. I love the Hanson Roberts deck. The pictures are so vivid. Love the colours on them. Beautiful. So let's have a look. We're going to try and get this down to about 40 minutes if we can. It's not that I want to rush it. It's just that I've got other personal readings to be getting on with, and also the other signs in this. So let's have a look. So Universe Spirit, show me who is this ex of Taurus in their life right now. Who is the ex? Who is the ex in their life right now? Who is the ex right now? Who is the ex in their life right now? Right, this one came out, so I have to take it. Okay. Sorry, I have to put that back in. The only reason I'm putting it back in is because I didn't know whether it was reversed. It came out sort of sideways, so I don't know whether that was a reversal or upright, so I have to put it back in. Universe Spirit, show me who this ex is right now in their life. Show me. It didn't feel right to take the cards, but I didn't take it. Let's push this here. What are the strengths of this ex? What is this ex's strengths as a person? Let's try and push this up a little bit here, like so. And what is their weakness as a person? How does the ex feel for Taurus? Show me. And how does Taurus feel for the ex? How does Taurus feel for the ex? Show me. What were the strengths in their relationship? When Taurus was with this ex, what were the strengths in their relationship? And what was the weakness in their relationship when Taurus and the ex were together? What was the weakness? Right, we're just going to move this along a little bit closer here so we've got enough room. And what is the potential, the possibility for the ex and Taurus to reconcile their differences? Show me. Can you give me an overall analysis of who the ex is as a person. What are the major blockages stopping Taurus and this ex from reconciling? Sorry, camera's just shifted a bit there. And if Taurus and the ex were to come back together, what would be... Oh, now I've got to take that. It did flip upright. See, sorry, you've seen it, but there we go. I'll have to put that down. That flipped not in the upright, in the reverse. And it flipped straight out. I could see exactly what that was. And then it was meant to be, so I'm putting it back there. You've probably already seen the card. But never mind. And if the ex came back to Taurus, what should Taurus do? Show me. Okay. There we go. Sorry, the camera keeps shifting a little bit here. I'm recording from a different location, so yeah, the lighting is fine on the cards. Okay. Right, let's have a look at who this ex is in their life right now, Taurus. Four of Swords in the reverse. This person's quite restless, really. When you get a Four of Swords in the reverse, this person isn't particularly at peace. That's the problem with the Four of Coins in the reverse. This person, they find it very difficult to withdraw. So it might be, even in their life right now, maybe this person with the Four of Swords reverse hasn't completely withdrawn from you. Because the Four of Swords in the reverse says, so I feel restless, I don't know whether this is what I want, I don't know whether I want to end this thing, I don't know whether I should withdraw. Sometimes the Four of Swords in the reverse says, maybe I should come back, maybe I should come out of a time of withdrawal, out of a time of silence, maybe I need to kind of make an appearance again with this Four of Swords. Mentally with the Four of Swords, you're just not at peace. You can't give up the fight. So it might be right now the ex is finding it difficult to give up the fight in a situation, finding it difficult to completely withdraw. There's a very restless, energetic energy to the Four of Swords in the reverse when this card shows up. So I feel that this person might be quite restless at the moment with the Four of Swords in the reverse. What is this person's strengths as a person? Seven of Wands in the reverse. Well, it's really funny because their strength should be to surrender. And to, because, I mean, they're restless. That's the thing with the Four of Swords in the reverse. This person isn't at peace at all. And yet their strength shows somebody as the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands in the reverse says, well, my strength is that if I can't fight it, if I can't beat them, join them. That's what the Seven of Wands is. So it might just be in general anyway, in terms of who this person is. It might be with the Seven of Wands in the reverse that this person, I think that this person might be quite good at compromising. I think the Seven of Wands being in the reverse, it shows that this person's strengths are in negotiation. Because the Seven of Wands in the reverse is all about negotiating on a situation that might be difficult. In the upright, this card is about struggle. So when you get this Seven of Wands, it's no negotiation. It's no agreement. So you've got the Six of Wands here that are fighting this person, and they're saying no. They've got a 1-1 holding up there. It's like, no, I'm not willing to negotiate. I stand in my own power. If you don't like it, you can piss off. But in the reverse, this person tends to be a little bit more lenient. They tend to be much more in a collaborative mood. They will release any type of struggle if they have to. If they have to accommodate themselves and towards somebody else and what somebody else's needs are, they will do. So I think that this person is quite a good negotiator, and I think that this person is quite good at compromise. I think if this person, the strength of this ex are, if they feel that they can't fight a situation, then it's a case of can't beat them, join them. I might as well just compromise. I might as well just give in. They tend to give in a lot, but it's a strength. So the Seven of Wands in the reverse, I think, is a very good strength to have, because sometimes you can be fighting and fighting and fighting a situation and never really getting anywhere. So this person might be, in order to save their own neck as an individual, they tend to find it easier just to compromise, maybe just to lower the struggle a little bit, lower their own defensiveness. They're very good at taking down their defenses and maybe other people's as well with the Seven of Wands in the reverse. What is their weakness as an individual? They're always waiting though. Seven of Pentacles energy shows here. That's the weakness. Always waiting for something to happen. Always waiting for the results of something. It's really weird. They show us a conundrum of complexities, because right now they're showing us being, and the clarifiers should clarify what the hell's going on with this, but they've shown us so different. in so many different areas. They're but then again, I suppose I could really kind of think about, well, how would this work together? And it does actually work when I think about it, because even though the ex is restless, I feel that this person is restless mentally, physically in their life right now. I think that they are facing a lot of mental challenges. They're finding it very difficult to withdraw from a situation, to rest on their laurels. They seem to be in some form of a maybe spiritual or mental fight. Not a physical fight, but it could be literally they're in some form of a practical difficulty at the moment with another individual. With the Four of Swords in the reverse. Now, as a strength, this person should be quite good at kind of lowering those defences, giving in, negotiating with the Seven of Wands in the reverse, understanding, not holding a grudge, for example, with the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So this person's really good at kind of lowering those boundaries, which is what the Seven of Wands in the reverse is. They're very good at compromising with others, but the weakness is that they're always waiting. So maybe the strength is that they tend to compromise, because the weakness is that they think they're going to get something from a situation with the Seven of Coins in the upright, because the Seven of Coins says, well, I put work and I put effort into this situation, and what I'm waiting for are the results. I'm waiting for something to be delivered to me, because this character on the Seven of Coins has planted all of these seeds, and now what this character is waiting for is the results of what he's planted on those seeds. So it depends on how you want to see the Seven of Coins. You can see this as the results, because it's Pentacles, so you can see this as a money card. Somebody saving money, looking at gain. They're gaining money with the Seven of Coins. Or you can see these as being the seeds that are planted, to which there's more to come. So this person often waits because they think that there's more to come. And maybe that's why the strengths are in negotiation, because this person thinks that there's more to come, for example. But it looks like this person at the moment, it might be that whatever they're waiting for, in terms of their weakness energy here, it's not coming because they're very restless. How do they feel towards you, Taurus? Seven of Cups in the reverse. So this person's got a reality check on you, because Seven of Cups in the reverse, often how I explain the Seven of Cups in the reverse is somebody's gone through a reality check. So the Seven of Cups in the upright is all about being very confused. Okay, sometimes you put people on a pedestal with the Seven of Cups in the upright. Sometimes when the card is in the upright, it says, well, I met this beautiful woman and she's out of this world, and I've put her on a pedestal and she's amazing and she's this, she's that. This is the card of an illusion. So sometimes when you get the Seven of Cups, it's all about a mirage and an illusion. But the Seven of Cups in the reverse means, well, I've come out of that mirage, I've come out of that illusion, and what I'm doing is I'm facing up to the facts for what they are. The Seven of Cups in the reverse also means that you've streamlined your choices. So you've made a definitive choice when you've got a Seven of Cups in the reverse. So I think that concerning you, their feelings are very clear, and they're seeing something very clearly with you. And it's no longer an illusion that they're not looking at the relationship, or they're not looking at you through rose-tinted glasses anymore with that Seven of Cups in the reverse. Everything is kind of a little bit down to earth and a little bit more realistic and sharper and more honest for them. How do you feel towards them or about them? Well, you feel the Three of Wands for them. Three of Wands is notoriously a difficult card to try and interpret in terms of feelings. But for me, with the Three of Wands being a feelings card, it's all about the future. So this person's waiting for their ships to come in. And I feel that in terms of see, you can also explain the Three of Wands as being, if you've got feelings for it, what your feelings could be concerning a person is that this person's far away. They're in the distance, okay? So it might be that you see them as being in the distance, that they've gone away, that they've sailed away from you, that they're no longer close with the Three of Wands. It might be that this person lives on another continent, another country, and it might be that you feel that there is distance. Because when I look at this card, you're looking at somebody who's got their back turned. So you might feel also the word back turned shows up with the Three of Wands. So some of you guys, your feelings might be that this person's turned their back on you, but it also might be your feelings towards them is to turn your back on them. Maybe you're looking into the future now. You're looking to launch something new here, Taurus, and you've got your back turned. Maybe you feel that their back is turned towards you because they've launched something else, especially if their feelings are they've got a reality check showing on you here. However, sometimes the Three of Wands energy can suggest that you're waiting for someone. So it could also be that your feelings are that you're waiting for this individual, or that you're still waiting for this individual. Or maybe you feel that this person's waiting for you. This card can kind of be twofold. We're going to need to get the clarifiers out to try and find out a little bit more about what's going on within that card. What was the strengths in the relationship when you were in it with this individual, Taurus? There was a lot of passion, wasn't there? Ace of Wands shows up. A lot of sex, probably, with that Ace of Wands energy, because the Ace of Wands is a phallic symbol. You might be, you know, lesbian though. You might be, you know, in a same-sex relationship. So either way, it's a lot of passion. A lot of sex within the relationship showing here. If it's a male-on-male relationship or a female-on-male relationship, then this is, you know, penis. This is the phallic. This is the erection. So I feel that there was a lot of passion, a lot of desire within this relationship. That was the strength. Primarily for some of you guys, it would have probably been about sex though, because that's what the Ace of Wands is. Ace of Wands is raw sex within the tarot. So it could have been, for some of you guys, the strength was in the bedroom with the Ace of Wands energy. However, the strengths might have been also, besides the sexual element of the relationship for some of you guys, Taurus, the Ace of Wands is all about new beginnings, new passion, excitement, doing things together, surviving off raw energy. So I think that there was a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm within this relationship. I think that the strength was also with the Ace of Wands. When you've got aces, they are the potential for something to grow. So there was always potential within this relationship, and it was almost like within this relationship, it was like we could do anything. What if this? What if that? What about in a year's time if we had a baby? Or what about if in a year's time we bought a house together? There was always that potential in the relationship. Besides the sexual energy, I think there was a lot of raw energy. I think there was a lot of exciting energy in this relationship, being that this was the Ace of Wands energy. What was the weakness, though, in this relationship, Taurus? The Seven of Swords in the reverse was the weakness. So the Seven of Swords in the reverse is an interesting card, because the Seven of Swords can represent somebody got caught. Now, usually if you're the Seven of Swords in the reverse and you're getting caught on a lie. So one of the weaknesses could be that somebody was lying. Even though it's not in the upright, there is the suggestion that somebody got caught. The weakness is getting caught. The weakness is getting caught out on a lie. So maybe somebody lied here with this Seven of Swords in the reverse. The other thing with the Seven of Swords in the reverse is about justice. So it's about righting the wrongs. So if you make mistakes, the Seven of Swords in the upright, one of the words we can use with the Seven of Swords in the upright is all about making a mistake. But in the reverse, it could say, well, those mistakes are rectified. So it might be that the weakness was, maybe there was a mistake here that wasn't rectified. Maybe something wasn't cleaned up, because the Seven of Swords says, well, we go back to the scene of the crime in order to clear up a mess that was made before. Difficult, because I can't see how that ties in so far with this situation. Maybe it ties in somewhere with this Seven of Cups in the reverse, because this person's got clarity on you. Their feelings are, they're very clear. They're very decisive about, there's no indecision here at all. Great decisiveness with the Seven of Cups in the reverse concerning how this ex feels about you. It might be something to do with the weakness being the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Trying to clear up any areas that are not particularly perfect or good within the relationship. We'll have to see. What is the potential for you guys to come back together, Taurus? No, Strength in the reverse. Because Strength in the reverse is a difficult card to work out, but it's not really. Because in the upright, it would have probably been, it depends. The upright is more difficult in terms of love. Only because Strength in the upright can either mean that somebody holds back on an urge or a passion or a desire to do something, or it can mean the overcoming of an obstacle if you were just to look at the card in terms of its normal, general meaning. There's no overcoming of an obstacle here with the Strength card in the reverse, because this card represents weakness, and it represents a lack of faith, and it represents a lack of patience, and it represents the feeling of being overcome. Okay, so the Lion now, the obstacle is overcoming the Strength. Alright, so this for me, the potential for you guys coming back together, Strength in the reverse, I don't think that this would occur with the Strength in the reverse. Yes, because it's a reversal card, and because Strength in the reverse is notoriously one of those cards that says that you're not overcoming an obstacle. The obstacle becomes greater than the solution. So I feel that there are too many big obstacles maybe to overcome for you guys to reconcile. Who is the ex then overall? They're seen as Temperance in the reverse. This person is seen as somebody who's, I feel that this person is very imbalanced as an individual, because Temperance in the reverse represents somebody who's imbalanced as an individual. I feel that this person, and they're showing us this here as well, Four of Swords in the reverse. This person lacks any type of peace within their life, Taurus. And they're showing us this as being this person, the Temperance. I find it very difficult to find balance within their life. They find it very difficult to... because the Temperance energy in the upright is all about peace and healing as well. It's all about finding that place where, if this is a relationship, it's the perfect relationship, because it's the perfect balance between two people. But in the reverse, this is all about imbalance and the inability to make things stable within one's life. So I'm seeing that your ex is probably somebody who finds it very difficult to balance energies within their life. It might be that they're overworked. It might be that they, you know, give more time to their work than relationships. This person finds it very difficult to balance the energies and the elements of life, usually. They're either giving more to one thing in their life than they're giving to another. What is the blockages to you guys getting back together? Somebody's not a natural participant, are they? 3 of coins in the reverse. Now, 3 of coins in the reverse can either mean that you're not being recognised for who you are, for your talents, for your skills, for who, you know, for your kindness. It might be that the obstacles are the ex didn't recognise you. The ex didn't pay you enough attention with the 3 of coins. The ex wasn't really looking at what your worth was. 3 of coins in the reverse in terms of relationship reading. In the upright, this means about improving relationships, and how we improve them are by socialising together, talking together, making plans for the future. If you're married and you're going through problems, probably marriage mediation with the 3 of coins. But in the reverse, this is an unsuccessful plan. This is an unrewarding plan. This is a lack of ability, a lack of strength within a team. 3's reverse usually mean deactivation. So 3 of coins in the reverse, it could mean that one of you is not into really the whole vibe of reconciling. One of you is not a team player. And I think that one of you is not a team player in this relationship with the 3 of coins in the reverse. And that's the major obstacle here, because you're not pulling together to make something work and to improve the relationship. One of you is not putting the weight. So I feel that the obstacle with this 3 of coins in reverse is one of you is not a team player in this relationship, and that's going to be the major obstacle, because obviously to make anything work in a relationship, Taurus, you need to have team players and people that are really working together. If you were to come back together, what would be the outcome? Same old, same old. Death in the reverse. Death in the reverse means there's no change. There's no transformation. We don't learn. We don't truly understand and accept the lessons that are coming to us through what we're experiencing in that relationship. You saw this come out before anyway. Had to take it because it fell right smack bang on the table in that position. So I knew that that was meant to be in this reading. So the death card, reverse, would be the outcome. So there'd be no change with the death. Yes, you would go back into the relationship, because the death card, for me, when I look at the card like death in the reverse, world in the reverse, cards that represent endings, but, you know, 8 of pentacles in the reverse, 5 of coins in reverse, they represent returns, but you're returning probably to the very same thing, and that's death in the reverse. Because in the upright, this is transformation. Now, if this had shown up this way, I would have said, well, maybe, just maybe, the outcome would have been not necessarily an ending. It could be that there'd be a major transformation in the relationship. But in the reverse, there's no transformation. So what we do is it's business as usual. It's like judgment in the upright. There's a renewal, but sometimes judgment in the upright isn't always great, because though it's a second time around card, judgment in the upright says, well, we go through the same thing again. Doesn't mean that there's a major change this time. It just means that we meet up again, we see each other again. You can still experience the same things that you experienced before. Because death is a card about, in the upright, about endings, this reverse can say that we go back. We go back and we relive the things that we relived before, because we're opening up that door again. It's the resurrection card. So what's happening here, the outcome would be a resurrection, the death card in the reverse. Because it is a resurrection. Remember that Jesus came up from the grave. Resurrection. Judgment card is all about resurrection as well. So they're kind of the same thing, death and judgment in the reverse. It's all about resurrecting. What you're doing with death in the reverse, you're turning back the clock and you're resurrecting. So we'll have to see why there's a resurrection coming in here with the death energy showing up. There'd be a resurrection here of old energies with this death card reverse if you were to come back together. Also, the inability to make any type of transformation as well. If the ex came back saying, let's give it a go, what should Taurus do? No. Ace of Swords. Sever ties. It's reversed. No. This is a no, for sure. Because Ace of Swords in the upright, there's not much difference between both the card, both in the upright. And don't be fooled by reversals. They're not always the complete opposite of the upright. Sometimes they've got very similar meanings. But the Ace of Swords would be a breakthrough. Should you, as a yes or no, Ace of Swords would be a yes on the tarot. But we look at, you know, what should you do? Well, if it was in the upright, I'd probably say, well, you need to have clear, stark communication. With some boundaries need to be defined here with the Ace of Swords. In the reverse, this is like, if you look at the thumb, it's up. you look at the thumb and where the hand is pointing, it's down. So this is definitely a no card. Any of those cards, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups, all of them reversed would be a no. Absolute no. There's a no here. The thumb is down, the hand is down. It's saying no. It's saying no. You have to stick to your gun and you have to draw the line. A line has to be drawn underneath this situation with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Because Ace of Swords in the reverse speaks about stagnancy. And because in the upright, this is all about change and making a breakthrough. It's clear, present communication, open communication. In the reverse, it says don't communicate. No. You shouldn't be going back with an Ace of Swords in the reverse. So you should be saying no. Because the lines have been drawn here with the Ace of Swords energy in the reverse, and that's where you need to keep it. It's like King Arthur's sword stuck in the stone. That's where it needs to stay. There's no breakthrough here. There's no victory and no success card with the Ace of Swords in reverse. This is the card that says, well, what should you do, the Ace of Swords in reverse? If it's a communication card, it says, no, don't bother communicating with this individual. Okay, you need to keep things where they are. No changes here, please. Let's get some clarifiers on these areas and have a look at why. Hope you guys can still see those cards. I think, yeah, they're fine. It's just that it gets dark outside and then it starts affecting the lighting. I might put the light on in a moment. Let me just see what it would look like with the light on. Oh yeah, I mean, we've got a bit of a glimmer on some of the cards, but it's not too bad. It's mainly on that Seven of Cups in the reverse. So why is this X showing us the Four of Swords reversed? Why is the X showing us the Four of Swords reversed? Why is Taurus's X showing us being... Why is Taurus's X showing us being the Four of Swords in the reverse in two cards? Right, Ten of Swords shows depression. It shows betrayal and it shows disappointment. Okay, this is called sorrow. Okay, this person's very restless. Now, maybe this was your relationship, Taurus. Maybe this was your... How interesting. Maybe this was your relationship, because this person's very restless. They can't... They're not finding any peace with this Four of Swords in the reverse, Taurus. Your ex is not finding any peace whatsoever. Excuse me. With that Four of Swords in the reverse. There is the constant thinking. They find it very difficult to completely detach themselves from this situation. Why is that? Because this ending, Ten of Swords, did you betray them at all, Taurus? Or did they betray you? Whatever the case is, this ending with the Ten of Swords has left them feeling very, very sad. Five of Cups. It's left them beside themselves, feeling bereft. I'm sensing great depression with the X here. The X is feeling very, very depressed at the moment for some of you guys. Why is the X... Why is their strengths the Seven of Wands in the reverse? Why is this X's strengths? Why is the X's strengths the Seven of Wands in the reverse in two cards? Right, the Moon. So the Moon doesn't have to be secrecy. It can also mean depression as well with the Moon energy. Oh, the Moon and the Star. That's interesting. Well, the Star is all about healing. And the Moon is all about depression and anxiety. So I feel over anxiety, any anxieties maybe that this person, and they're big energies. So this person's gone through some real tumultuous situations. Or this is a very tumultuous situation that the X has been through. Their strengths are giving up, Seven of Wands. Just giving in and saying, you know what, I'm no longer going to try and fight this thing. That's what their strength is. Their strength is in understanding and accepting a situation. Because it's over the worry of the Moon card that this person needs to heal. If you look at the Moon, this is a very dark card. Only the Moon as the guiding light here. But remember, when you get a Moon card, this isn't just about secrecy. Sometimes this can be with the Star, because the Star shines a light. So this is like secrecy coming to light, or things being revealed with both cards. But also this is anxiety. Anxiety and nervousness and fears and worries with the Moon card being resolved with the Star energy, being cleared up, being relieved. So this person wants to relieve themselves of any anxiety or fears or worries that they've got. And the only way that the X can do it is by just resolving to give up on it. Because I don't think that this X likes to be feeling tense and likes to be feeling nervous. This person, their strengths are trying to resolve situations that cause them a lot of inner turmoil and worry. Because you can see the inner turmoil of the Moon card being resolved and washed away by the Star. However, in their life right now, they are very much in a tumultuous energy with the Four of Swords in the reverse, because what has ended with the Ten of Swords has brought a great deal of pain and sadness with the Five of Cups energy. Why is this person's weakness? Why is the ex's weakness the Seven of Coins? Why is the ex's weakness the Seven of Coins in 2 cards? The Chariot shows up here. So the Chariot can show where there's inner conflict that needs to be resolved. But this is also a card about success and victory. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so this person wants success and victory within a relationship, the Four of Wands. Because the Four of Wands is the home, it's the relationship, it's a marriage. So the weakness is this person's waiting. The weakness is they will wait to the end of the earth. Okay, because what they want is, after a turbulent time, after difficulties that they've been trying to manage with the Chariot, what they want is success and victory within a relationship, the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is about relationships, the home, maybe success and victory within a partnership. A relationship, the home, marriage, engagement. This person wants success in those areas. And the weakness is this person is willing to wait for it. They'll wait to the end of the earth. However, their strengths are... It's interesting that these shows up, because the energies are so different. Because in one way, this person's weakness is waiting, Seven of Coins. They put the hard work in, the effort in, and now they wait for results. Now, their weakness with the waiting is they'll wait till the end of the earth, because they're going to achieve what they want to achieve. This Chariot and the Four of Wands energy. However, their strengths are that they give up. Seven of Wands. They're able to resign themselves to a situation. I think that really what it's trying to say is that their weaknesses is that they will hold on longer than they should be holding on with that Seven of Coins, because they want to achieve some victory. Maybe a project here with the Four of Wands, maybe a relationship. Whatever the case is with that Four of Wands, they're wanting to achieve it. And also the Chariot means to pursue. So this person wants to pursue happiness, or they want to pursue some form of success, whether it's relationships, work, whatever it is. This person, their weakness is they will wait, probably longer than what they should do. But I think after that waiting time, when this person realises maybe, just maybe, this isn't going to happen, they have the great ability to surrender. Seven of Wands in the reverse means to surrender. To surrender and to accept that maybe this isn't going to work out, because they've been waiting for so long to achieve some form of success. But I think that their strength is when they surrender and they say, I'll let go of it, I'll leave it, that's it, then they really do surrender. Because I think the pain of waiting with that moon energy, the anxiety that it causes internally is too much. And what they want to do with the star energy is just wash that away and start all over again. So I think with this X, what happens is they wait for as long as they possibly can. But when they realise that nothing is doing and it's not going to bring in any positive results, on whatever the situation is, they tend to say, you know what, let me leave this, because the pain has become too intense. I just need to clean myself up from that. I need to heal from it. So when the pain becomes too much in a situation, this is when this person will dig their heels in. But right now, in their life, they're feeling restless. They're in this pain again. They're feeling very restless here, because the ending has brought, an ending of a situation, a painful ending at that with the Ten of Swords, has brought a great deal of loss. And they will probably, as a weakness, keep waiting and waiting and waiting to see if something can be resolved over whatever this situation is in this area here. But once they realise it's not going to be resolved, they'll move on from it here. Why does this X see Taurus as being the 7? Why do they feel the 7 of Cups in the reverse for Taurus? Why does this X feel the 7 of Cups in the reverse for Taurus in 2 cards? Right, so the Six of Swords is a card about progress or moving on. This can also be about a trip. Okay, and you've got the Death energy showing here. Alright. So I feel that this is, the Six of Swords is all about making progress. And I think that they feel for you a reality check. So there's a great realisation that this X feels about you with the 7 of Cups in the reverse. It's almost like they've awoken from a dream. And I think it's because in order for this X to move on, to make progress within their life, they have to end this thing. They have to let it go with you. It looks to me the X is still stuck on you, Taurus. It looks like they're still in love, to me. And it looks like it's been a very painful thing for this X to do, to move on. But it almost feels to me like with the 7 of Cups in the reverse, this person, how they feel about you is, well, reality. And also that they've made a definitive choice with that Seven of Cups in the reverse. They've got no choice. Because they know that in order to move on, in order to progress within their life, in order to look for other things within their life, they have to let go of the situation with the Death card. And I think it's about you. Because I think right now this person is a place of turmoil with the Four of Swords in the reverse. Because this ending, the Ten of Swords, I don't know whether you hurt them or they hurt you. I don't know what it is. But whatever this ending is with the Ten of Swords showing here, it's caused them a great deal of pain. So this person really did love you, or still does love you very much, Taurus. How do you feel about them? You feel the Three of Wands in the upright. Why does Taurus feel the Three of Wands for the X in 2 cards? Why does Taurus feel the Three of Wands for the X in 2 cards? Because the Page of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Okay. So, I think that you feel towards them that you need to turn your back on them, and that they turned their back on you. Probably you need to turn your back on them because you feel that they turned their back on you. They weren't fully... When you get the Three of Wands, this can show somebody who's turning their back on a relationship. So if you get Three of Wands, lovers, and then Three of Wands, this person's Three of Wands has turned their back on love. They've turned their back on a relationship. So I think that you feel that this person's turned their back on you, so therefore you've got to turn your back on them. And this is because the Page of Pentacles, this is a proposal card. So sometimes when you get the Page of Pentacles, somebody's making a proposal. Let's move in together. Let's get married, let's have children, let's make this relationship more united, more official. But it seems to have been rejected with the Seven of Wands. So I feel that whatever it is that was proposed here, and I think that this was you proposing something to the ex, I think it was rejected here. So you feel that this person's looking at, you feel that this person has turned their back on you and they're looking in another area. And therefore you feel that you need to do the same. Because whatever it was that you proposed here, Taurus, it was rejected by the ex. Maybe that's why the person here, the ex, is feeling very restless, because the ending of the relationship has caused a great deal of hurt and pain. But this person realises something about you. This ex realises that if they're going to make any progress, maybe they want to travel, whatever it is. If they're going to move on or move forward or make any progress in their life, then they need to let go of the situation. But I don't think that this ex let go lightly. I just don't see how this person could have let go lightly, because it's bothered them. And I think that they did hold on probably for the longest time because they wanted to overcome the obstacles that you guys were facing here in order to achieve success and happiness with the Four of Wands. But their strength is they give up. Once they realise that something is causing too much of a worry, a burden, nervousness, they need to give up on it, because this needs to be healed here. To me, this looks so sad, because it looks like the ex really did want something with you, Taurus. But for some reason, maybe it was for work reasons, maybe it was something to do with their career, that they felt that they couldn't hold on to the relationship. What was the strengths in this relationship, the Ace of Wands, between Taurus and this ex? What was the strengths in this relationship, the Ace of Wands, in the upright in 2 cards? Well, you got the Lovers here. Oh, there we go, and the Knight of Rods. So the strengths were the Ace of Rods, and I would say that there was a great passion in this relationship. You've got the Knight of Rods showing here, and Knight of Rods in a love reading can mean improvement, and it can mean joy and laughter. It doesn't always mean that you've got, you know, somebody who's running all over town. The Knight of Rods is the card about enthusiasm, travel, excitement, as I've said, laughter, just all of those things is the Knight of Rods. It's quite about passion, being driven, okay? So, you know, you can see the Knight of Wands is looking into the Lovers. So this person's pursuing love. So love here, I feel, was greatly pursued. It was the direction that you were both in. There was great passion in this relationship. And I'm looking at the Knight of Rods looking in at the Lovers showing up here. Okay, now I could have said, well, maybe somebody else was looking into your relationship, because I'm looking at the picture on the cards. Sorry. I'm looking at the picture on the cards here, and I'm looking at somebody looking into this relationship here, but I'm not going to read it like that. I'm not going to read it like that. I don't think I should read it like that, even though I could read it like that, because it looks like, so, you know, if you were to read it, you know, this love with the Lover's energy, I'm seeing vast improvements, the ability to want to move in a certain direction. Somebody's looking into that Lover's energy and they're saying, I want a piece of that. I want to improve on this relationship. I want to move it further. I want to move it into an exciting new direction. And I think that you both have a passion to move this relationship into an exciting new direction. To move this lovers, and yeah, and you've got the Ten of Cups here as well. You know, you wanted to move this love into an exciting new direction in which, with the Ten of Cups, you could have fulfillment. Real fulfillment, real love. You could probably even settle down together. So I feel that also with the Ace of Wands, this was about the great ideas that the both of you had, Taurus, in this relationship. I think you had a lot of ideas, exciting ideas, you know, maybe with this relationship here to move it up a level with the Knight of Wands. In the end, achieving this happiness, this joy, this contentment with the Ten of Cups energy showing here. Okay, could be that with the lovers moving home, for example, changing location, changing home. You might have talked about moving in together, moving home together, moving to another country together. I think you had all sorts of plans for some of you guys that you were setting out and doing with this person. However, the weakness was the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So let's have a look at why was the weakness in this relationship between Taurus and this person, the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Well, we've got a Six of Cups here. Oh, and the Seven of Swords. I think that within this connection, and the Seven of Swords is now upright, this is in the reverse. So I think that the weakness was telling the truth. Because the Seven of Swords, the weakness could be that somebody was caught out. Or the weakness could be telling the truth. Because I think that within this connection, this Six of Cups energy, there might have been a bit of a deception here, showing up with the Seven of Swords. So somebody was a bit deceptive, I feel, because the Six of Cups is all about that soulmate connection, that love connection that you have. Oh, those cards are really... Hang on, let's turn this off. There we go. I think you can see those a little bit better. Sorry about the lighting, guys, on the cards. I think you can see the cards all right. It's just that there was such a glare on those cards, we couldn't see what was going on. The Six of Cups is all... It might have been that there was a past deception as well, because the Six of Cups is all about the past. So it might be confession as well. Seven of Swords in the reverse is about a confession. So the weakness might be that about the partner. Somebody, whether it was you, whether it was the ex, somebody, the weakness was somebody confessing to something that they did. And I think it was because in the past there was a deception. There was an infidelity that might have taken place in this relationship in the past. It might, I think there might have been an infidelity, but I think it was a moment of madness maybe for one of you that happened. It might be that this is why this person's like this. It might be that this person regrets it. Maybe their infidelity with the Ten of Swords, their betrayal cost them the relationship with the Five of Cups. Maybe that's what they're restless about. Maybe their weakness is that they'll forever wait, because if they can overcome the obstacles with the Chariot energy showing here, they could finally have that reunion with you. But it might be you're the one that fucked them off, you know, that told them to get lost, because you see them as turning their back. So maybe they've turned their... You see that you feel that they've turned their back and that you've turned their back. Maybe what they proposed to you, you rejected that. Was it because they cheated on you? Was there a momentary indiscretion? I'm getting the sense that there was an indiscretion in this relationship, because it might be in the past, the Six of Cups, there was a deception here, and the weakness was somebody confessing to this. I think somebody had to own up to something in this relationship, Taurus. That's the weakness. Because the strength was the Ace of Wands. It was the passion, the desire, the excitement for the future with the Ace of Wands energy. Because you guys were in love. And you were pursuing this. You were pursuing with that Knight of Wands, the Ten of Cups energy. This was it's a good card, the Ace of Wands is. So the only way I can read these cards, even though I could read them quite negatively with the Knight of Wands looking into lovers, that I'm not going to do that, because I think that within this relationship, within this love, within this union, you guys were pursuing the Ten of Cups. You were pursuing settling down. It wasn't just a momentary thing for you guys. I think that you were really looking to settle down together and be a real family unit. But the weakness is, you either caught this person out on a lie about the past, or this person didn't confess to you an indiscretion from the past. Potentially. And that's why this person's feeling restless, because it might be that they betrayed you. This betrayal ended in tears, cost them the relationship. Why is the chance for reconciliation between Taurus and this person the Strength card reversed? Why is the chance for reconciliation between Taurus and this person Strength reversed? Show me in two cards. Knight of Coins. This is somebody who moves very, very slowly. Oh. Well, I feel that more than anything, Taurus, that this Knight of Coins and the Knight of Swords is possibly two people coming in or around you. So I feel that strength in the reverse would be to give up. It's not overcoming those obstacles. So I think that this is more about giving up. I think that the potential for a relationship reconciliation is a no with the strength energy, because I'm seeing two other people coming in to the situation. They'll probably only be fleeting, but for some of you guys, these guys might be a little bit of a distraction here. I'm seeing a Knight of Coins and a Knight of Swords. So it could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, male or female, and a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Usually this is a Virgo individual, but an earth sign and an air sign, male or female, coming in. Two people. So I feel that there's a no here with the strength card in the reverse. The relationship isn't strong enough. You couldn't overcome the opposing forces. And I think it's either because this person is distracted by two other people, or you're distracted by two other people with those two cards showing up there. But I don't see you guys coming back together because the relationship isn't strong enough. Unfortunately, it's not showing us strong enough to sustain that. Why is the X showing as being Temperance? Why is the overall analysis of who this person is the X? Temperance reversing two cards. Let's get these cards here. Well, the Wheel of Fortune shows changes, destiny, fate. This person might be fated to forever be, you know, unhappy with the Four of Cups, forever be dissatisfied, because the Wheel of Fortune is a card about fate and destiny. And I don't, you know, nobody wishes that somebody is always, you know, destined to a life of whatever. Nobody wishes that. But I think that this person is probably destined with the Wheel of Fortune to ever always be dissatisfied. I'm going to see why that is with one card. Why would this person be destined to be unhappy or fated to being dissatisfied with the Four of Cups energy? Because they're always looking at the grass being greener on the other side. Or they're always looking at the Seven of Cups is where the grass is always greener on the other side. There's always too many choices. Or too many things to think about. This person's not settled with the Temperance energy. They're showing us somebody who's very imbalanced. They're not very good at managing energies. So if they're in a relationship, they might find it difficult to settle down in that relationship. It just looks to me like this person, it's really weird, but the more I do these readings, the more we get nuanced into what the human psyche is. And it just feels like with this reading, Taurus, that this is the type of person that wants things and wants them wholeheartedly and wants them passionately, but then becomes very confused and then does something to... I get the impression this person often self-sabotages themselves. I see a self-sabotager in the reading. It's not you, it's them. I think it's not you, I think it's them. I think there is self-sabotage because the weaknesses they couldn't confess. You either caught them or they couldn't confess to a past indiscretion, I feel, with the Six of Cups and the Seven of Swords. And that's the weakness, that they couldn't be honest with you. Seven of Swords in the reverse. They couldn't confess. They couldn't open up and be honest to a past indiscretion showing up here. So that's number one for this person, showing us somebody who self-sabotages. Number two might be here, that you guys don't reconcile because there's not enough strength in this relationship. There's not enough resolve or agency or ability to overcome obstacles, because it might be that there are, you know, distractions. Could be you, but could also be that there are distractions that take them away from that. Their weaknesses, they will wait and wait and wait and wait. But then this is why I couldn't understand why the weakness and the strength seems to be so opposing, seem to be so weird. 1 minute they want to wait, the next minute they give up. It didn't make any sense. The only thing I can think is somebody who is a bit of a fantasist, and also somebody who self-sabotages themselves a great many times. They don't live in the area of reality. Even though they've got the reality check on you here that they need, in order for them to move on, they need to let go of the situation here. I think that this ex did something to you, and I think that they're regretting it. But this is what the Knight of Cups does, you see, or a narcissist does. They often do things, they get into relationships, they're really excited, they're the Knight of Wands energy. This is somebody who's really passionate and desires. This person desires the relationship and they want fulfillment, emotional, happy fulfillment within this relationship. They want everything. That was the strength. And they gave you that. But yet the weakness is they couldn't confess to a past indiscretion in the relationship somewhere along the line. And now they're crying. They're showing us the Four of Swords reversed. Now they're crying and they're restless because maybe their betrayal cost them the relationship with the Five of Cups. But their weaknesses, well, I'll carry on waiting. I'll wait and I'll wait and I'll wait, because I'm sure we can overcome the problems with the Chariot, achieve victory and come together with the Four of Wands. But then the strength is, well, you know, if we can't do that, I might as well just give up, because I can't be asked with these feelings of the moon energy, and I just need them to be cleansed. I need them to go with the star. I need them to end. So this character's kind of, yeah, they're very nuanced. They're very, very nuanced. But the problem with this individual, Taurus, is they don't really know what they want. Temperance reverse. They're always imbalanced as an individual. And that's what my problem is with this person. One minute they want something, the next minute they don't. And they're showing us the overall analysis of them as being a very imbalanced individual is because they're destined. The Wheel of Fortune, they're fated to be unhappy. Why are they fated? Because it's of their own making. They're always thinking the grass is greener on the other side with the Seven of Cups. So they can never settle for the one thing. They've got to have a look at everything. That's the problem with this person. That's the problem with this person. They're the silent assassin in relationships. Because they're the person you would always think wouldn't be like this. You'd think that when they speak to you and, you know, what they discuss with you, Taurus, in relationships, you would think, yeah, they're really in it. They're into it like I'm into it. They're really into it like I'm into it. But it's the undercurrents that this person has. The fact that they couldn't confess to you about, or you found out about a past indiscretion, or they couldn't confess to you about a past indiscretion. The fact that they can't confess to shit. And they tend to kind of make out that it's nothing at all, because they've got clarity. In order for me to move on, I've got to let this person go, and I'm so upset here because what I did has caused me to cost me Taurus, you know. But you know what, if I have to give up because I can't be asked with all of this energy, I just need to be rid of it. So you know what, I've just got to let it go. You know, it's just really weird with this person. I just feel that they're kind of, I can't explain it. There just seems to be something that is very silent assassin about this person. Something that they probably don't even know themselves. Why is the obstacles to Taurus and this person having a relationship, coming back together, the Three of Coins and the reverse in 2 cards? The Six of Wands shows arrogance and somebody who wants to do things their way with the Six of Wands energy. Well, no, I think it's because you want to have a commitment with this individual. So the blockage is the Three of Coins. Somebody's not a team player, and I think it's the ex. I think the ex is not a team player, because every time you approach the Hierophant, every time with the Six of Rods you approach the idea of real commitment with that Hierophant energy, this person felt burdened by the whole thing. So the Hierophant is all about commitment, and this is about feeling burdened with the devil. Alright, it might have caused arguments as well with the devil energy. So every time you approach the idea of commitment with this person, it created problems with the devil energy showing here. So the problem, the blockage to you guys coming together in reconciling in this relationship, well, Three of Coins, the blockage is that this person isn't a team player. Three of Coins. They didn't want to improve the relationship. They don't want to build it up, because every time you approach the idea of commitment with that Hierophant, there was always a problem. This person always felt chained by the idea. And yet it just feels like, but then we've got fire energy here showing up, Ace of Wands. We've got the beautiful Lovers showing up, but we've got another fire energy of the Knight of Rods. The fire cards are the passion, what drives us internally, what drives our imagination, and then the lovely softness. So none of this energy is really grounded, not one piece of it. It's all energy. It's all excitement and it's all energy, but none of that is grounded. It's all talk and no fucking action. This top area here, all talk and no action, because it's all fire and water. And none of those energies can be sustained, because they'll either blow out or they'll run out. None of them is solid. It's not any earth energy showing here. You need the earth. There's no earth. It's all air. It's all fire, and it's all water, and it's, you know, the solidness of the Lovers, but it's fire and water mixed in with that, and I don't necessarily think that that's a great combination. Why, if Taurus were to come back with the ex, what would the outcome of the relationship be? The Death in the reverse. If Taurus was to come back with the ex, why would the overall outcome of the relationship be Death in the reverse? Show me. Right, the Tower, So the Tower is the breakup card in the Tower. In the Tarot, sorry. It's the unstable foundation within the Tarot for a relationship. Okay, so, I mean, we've got Tower and the Temperance energy. So it's like trying to manage the... when you get this Tower, this is the what's the word that I'm looking for? This is the debris, and the Temperance energy is trying to mop that up. So what you guys are trying to do, basically, you'd have a return with the Death in the reverse. So the outcome would be that you would be business as usual. You'd have a return to the old days with the Death in the reverse. So there'd be a resurrection of the old ways. And what are those old ways? The Tower, the fallout, the debris. Trying to manage the fallout, because the Temperance energy means to try and manage something, and Tower energy is where you've got the fallout of a situation. So the fallout, the instability in this relationship, trying to manage the instability, because Tower is all about instability and Temperance is all about trying to manage that instability. So in other words, you've got, let me just say, you've got a deep cut on your leg. And what you do is you put a plaster over it, hoping that will stem the infection or any infection. So all you're doing is you're just plastering over. Let's put it this way. These two cards for me are saying that what you're dealing with is you're dealing with the symptom and not the cause. All right, so it's a return. Or the outcome is no change. Death in the reverse means no change. No change and stuck energy. Because you're dealing, all you're trying to do is deal with the symptoms of the relationship and not the cause. So all you're doing is papering over the cracks, basically. All I'm seeing here is the outcome is papering over the cracks if you were to come back together with this person. And the final area shows as the Ace of Swords. So if Taurus and this person, if this person came back to Taurus wanting a reconciliation, why should Taurus do the Ace of Swords in the reverse? Because the High Priestess. This is all about intuition. And the Three of Cups. Okay. See, the High Priestess is secrets, but it's also a card that represents intuition as well. And you've got the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is all about coming together and partnership. But if you look at this High Priestess, she doesn't want to be a part of the partnership, you see. I'm not going to do silent women on all this type of shit. You see this High Priestess, she doesn't want to be a part. It's like hermits and High Priestesses. They tend to be on the outskirts of relationships, people. The High Priestess, I'm wondering if there is anything else following this. See, I think that there would be an aloofness. When you get High Priestess, it could be a detachment coming in here. So I think that you should say no with the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Because I'm still seeing detachment in this partnership with the Three of Cups. And why would there be detachment in... And I read the High Priestess as a detachment card in the tarot, by the way, because she is. She's the person that sits on the outskirts. Why would there be a detachment in this Three of Cups, in this partnership, in an agreement? Why would there be a detachment in this partnership? Because of having to put the effort in, the Eight of Coins, having to work hard and put the effort in. Also things going round in circles with the Eight of Coins. Having to put the effort. I pulled two more cards. I think it would be because this person would have to put the effort into nurturing the relationship, which would cause struggles with the Ten of Wands. So this person having to put effort into the nurturing the relationship, because we know with the Empress this is all about creativity. It's a number 3 card, so it represents the beginning of nurturing, the beginning of tending to the garden, watching things grow. If you want abundance and prosperity, you've got to work hard for it. And this is a worker card, is the Empress energy. So all this hard work that you do, that you put into nurturing and building and loving this relationship with the Empress, would cause problems with the Ten of Wands. I knew there were some more cards to come on that. So you should say no, because I think there would be an aloofness. I think that there would be not a proper contract made on this relationship, not a proper agreement, I feel, with the High Priestess and that Three of Cups. Other people might, I mean, there's no hard and fast rules to how you read cards in the tarot. You just read what you feel the cards are saying to you. And for me, there's no there's no agreement, because the High Priestess sits outside. You can see on these cards here how close they are on the Three of Cups. Can you see? And can you see the High Priestess sits away from the Three of Cups? So this woman's not a part of the group. So again, what we're seeing is detachment, and somebody who's not a part of the group. They're not a part of the agreement. And this would probably be the ex. Because working, the Eight of Coins, on building, creating and nurturing this relationship would be too much of a struggle with the Ten of Wands. And that's why you should say no around this individual. That's your reading. Let's quickly get it again. This ex of yours is restless at the moment. Maybe this person betrayed you. I think they did, because you got this energy here. It might be because the betrayal that they performed here in the relationship cost them the relationship with the Five of Cups energy. Their strengths are, though, they will surrender to a situation and say, okay, I'm not going to try and fight for this anymore, because there's too much pain with the moon, too much anxiety here. I just need to be healed from that. I can't bear it anymore. I need to be relieved of all of this anxiety that I've been feeling. So this person doesn't like to feel anxious, and they don't like to feel that they're in a position where they just want to cry, or they're going to break down. So they'd just rather release it, because the strengths with them, the weaknesses, is that they will hold out until the end of time if they feel that there's something worth fighting for, with that Chariot and the Four of Wands. However, how they feel about you is they faced a reality check, and that is, well, in order for them to move on, they need to let go of the situation with the Death energy. You feel the Three of Wands for them, that you need to turn your back, because you presented them with an option. You proposed to them. I'm not saying marriage or anything, but you did present them with an option with that Page of Coins, but they rejected it, however which way that was done in. This relationship, when it was strong, it was really strong, but it was strong in terms of passion and ideas and excitement, because within you were both very, very interested, with that Knight of Wands facing into the Lovers. You were very interested. You were very, you wanted to pursue. You were very desirous of this union, ending in the Ten of Cups, happy ever after. Both of you were, to a certain extent. However, the weakness is, somebody got caught. It's either that the ex got caught, possibly a past indiscretion, or the ex wouldn't tell you, wouldn't confess to a past indiscretion. Therefore, the potential for you guys to reconcile, well, there's not enough strength in the relationship. The opposing forces draw you apart rather than together here. And it could be because the Knight of Coins, two other people around you, Knight of Coins, Knight of Swords. Might be that this ex has other distractions, could be that you do. Who is the ex as a person? Well, they're very unbalanced as an individual. Emotionally, psychically, mentally, in all sorts of ways this person's very unbalanced. Why is that? Well, I think that they're destined, they're fated to be unhappy, but it's of their own making, because they're always thinking that the grass is greener on the other side with the Seven of Cups. What is the blockages to you guys being together? Somebody's not a team player. This is the ex, I reckon, Three of Coins in the reverse. Every time you've approached the idea or talked about the idea of marriage or union or commitment with the Hierophant, this person tends to feel very burdened, or they tend to feel that you're trying to burden them by doing something that they don't want to do. Therefore, if you got back together, what would be the outcome? Well, you'd find no change at all with the Death card, because all you'd find is the Tower, this very unstable structure that you have with the ex, trying to maintain that, trying to manage it, trying to manage the symptom rather than the cause. And therefore, if the ex should come back asking for a second chance, Taurus, Ace of Swords in the reverse is a definitive no. Why is that? Because I feel that this person's not a team player. The team is the Three of Cups energy. This person doesn't play within the team. I feel that this person would not play to the rules of the team with the Three of Cups energy, because hard work, putting a lot of hard work and effort into building this relationship, maintaining it, nurturing it, loving it with the Empress energy would be too much of a struggle for this ex. They regret it in hindsight now, what happened, and perhaps how they treated you, or were unfaithful to a certain extent for some of you guys, or lied to you. But yet they wouldn't be willing to change their ways. Not really. Alright, that's your reading, Taurus. Thanks for your time, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.